the open road, and a laptop. The world is changing. We're not all tied to desks anymore. Fancy working from a beach in Bali? Or a cafe in Rome? That's the dream, isn't it? Remote work makes it possible. Pack your laptop, grab your passport, and off you go. Work and travel, a perfect blend. But hold on a minute, is it really that simple? Like a classic car, it looks great in the brochure, but what about breakdowns? Remote work abroad has its quirks. Don't trade your office desk for a sun lounger just yet. There are bumps in the road, things they don't tell you in those glossy travel ads. Imagine this, you're trying to meet a deadline. Suddenly the internet crashes. You're in the middle of nowhere. So buckle up and let's get this show on the road. The dream versus reality. Postcards don't show Wi-Fi outages. We've all seen those dreamy pics. Someone chilling in a hammock, laptop open with a stunning tropical view. Looks amazing, right? The idea of freedom, exploring new places and still getting your work done. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt, but hey, those pics don't tell the whole story. They don't show the annoying Wi-Fi dropouts, the missed deadlines because of time zones, or the loneliness of being far from home. Working remotely abroad can feel like fixing a car with a Swiss Army knife. You'll get there, but it's going to be a lot tougher. You need the right tools and the right mindset. It's not just about the awesome views and cool spots. It's about being real about the challenges. Picture this. You're on a video call with your boss and suddenly a rooster starts crowing, or the power goes out, or you can't find a decent cup of tea anywhere. Just know that while the perks are awesome, there will be some bumps along the way. Dodging the bumps on the remote work road. Now, don't get us wrong, it's not all bad news. In fact, working remotely from abroad can be absolutely amazing. But just like driving a vintage car, you need to know what you're doing. You've got to be ready for surprises. And that's where we come in. In the next few sections, we'll walk you through the usual remote work hiccups. So kick back, relax, but not too much. We've got a lot to cover, and let's get you ready to rock the remote work life, one day at a time. Working remotely across different time zones can be a symphony of clocks or a nightmare of missed deadlines. It's crucial to synchronize your schedule with your team to avoid any hiccups. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle. One minute it's Tuesday, the next it's Wednesday, and you're left wondering if you missed a meeting or gained an extra day. Working across time zones is like a delicate dance. You need the precision of a Swiss watchmaker and the flexibility of a yoga instructor. Early morning calls, late night emails, and the constant fear of waking up your colleagues in the middle of their night become the norm. But don't worry, brave remote worker. Use tools like world clocks and scheduling apps to keep everyone on the same page. Start by setting up clear communication channels with your team. Use online tools to schedule meetings across time zones and avoid those awkward "did I get the time right?" moments. Remember, communication is key to managing time zone differences effectively. With a bit of planning and a lot of coffee, you can conquer the time zone challenge and make remote work for you. Securing Wi-Fi, the key of the digital nomad. Imagine this. You're in a beautiful remote location, ready to tackle your workday, but the Wi-Fi is nowhere to be found. It's like chasing a mythical creature. Good internet is like gold for remote workers. It's as crucial as air, especially when you're racing against a deadline and all you see is that annoying spinning wheel. But finding solid Wi-Fi while abroad, it's like hunting for treasure. One moment, you've got full bars and life is good. The next, you're clinging to a single bar, hoping your video call doesn't freeze, especially when explaining why your report is late. Again, it's enough to make you want to give up and something else. But before you trade your laptop, there are ways to stay connected. First, do some homework. Look up reviews for cafes and co-working spaces with solid internet. Get yourself a portable Wi-Fi hotspot so you're not stuck relying on public Wi-Fi. From portable hotspots to local SIM cards and even satellite internet, we've got you covered. Take control of your internet connectivity. Don't let the elusive Wi-Fi disrupt your productivity. Stay tuned for tips and tricks to conquer the connectivity quest. Renewing your visa can feel laborious. Working remotely abroad isn't just about sipping cocktails on the beach. Sometimes it's about dealing with the not-so-fun stuff like visas, insurance, and all that bureaucratic jazz. It can make you want to pack up and head back to your office cubicle. Picture this: your visa's about to expire and you're buried in paperwork, confusing rules, and a language you barely understand. With some planning and a lot of patience, you can handle the logistics of working abroad. Start by checking out visa requirements way ahead of time. Make sure you've got all the documents you need and know the renewal process. And remember, you're not in this alone. Feeling lonely without the water cooler chats? Let's be real. Working remotely can get pretty lonely. No more water cooler chats, spontaneous brainstorming, or the familiar buzz of office life. And when you're working from another country, that loneliness can hit even harder. You're in a new place, surrounded by a different culture, and the time zone difference means you're often working while everyone else is asleep. But before you start chatting with your coffee mug, remember there are ways to beat the remote work blues. Make an effort to connect with people, both online and offline. Join local expat groups, hit up networking events, or just strike up a conversation with someone at a cafe. Stay connected, reach out, and don't let remote work loneliness get you down. Ah, the dream of working from anywhere. Imagine this: you're chilling on a beach, laptop on your knees, waves gently crashing in the background. Sounds like paradise, right? Well, kinda. The freedom of remote work is awesome, but it can easily lead to procrastination and missed deadlines. Suddenly that report you need to finish seems way less important than another swim. Next thing you know, you're 3 cocktails in, sunburnt, and your to-do list is untouched. But hey, don't stress. There are ways to stay on track even with all the distractions. The trick is to set some boundaries. Make a dedicated workspace, set clear work hours, and stick to them. Remember, being productive doesn't mean working non-stop. So, working from paradise sounds like a dream, right? Sunsets, beaches, cocktails, but here's the kicker. You are on your own, no co-workers to chat with, no after-work drinks at the pub. It is just you, your laptop, and a gecko on the wall. And trust me, that gecko is not much of a talker. Loneliness is a real thing for remote workers. It sneaks up on you. One minute you are loving the peace and quiet, the next you are chatting with your breakfast cereal. Not great. We humans need social interaction. Without it, your mind can go a bit haywire. But hey, there is a solution. You need to be proactive, join online communities, find local groups with similar interests. So, can you really be more productive in your pajamas? We've all been there. You're at home, cozy in your PJs, and suddenly every little chore seems super important. The laundry is calling, the fridge needs a clean, and that shelf you've been ignoring for months is now begging for attention. Distractions are the worst when you're working remotely. And if you're working abroad, in a cool new place, those distractions just get bigger. It's hard to focus on a spreadsheet when there's a whole new city to explore right outside. The trick is to set up a dedicated workspace, cut down on distractions, stay focused, and you'll hit those deadlines faster than you can finish a plate of tapas in Barcelona. Section 4. The always-on trap, escaping the clutches of constant connectivity. Tech is awesome, right? It lets us work from anywhere on the planet, but it also means we're always on call. Emails, messages, notifications, they follow you around like a shadow. You feel like you have to reply right away, even if it's 3 in the morning and you're halfway up a mountain in Nepal. This always-on mindset is a fast track to burnout. It piles on stress and stops you from really unplugging and recharging. Remember, you're not a robot. You need some downtime to be at your best. Set some boundaries for your digital life. Turn off notifications when you're off the clock. Give yourself a break from the digital world, and you'll come back to work refreshed, focused, and ready to crush it. Homesickness, missing your mum's cooking and your mate's rubbish jokes. Let's be real, no matter how much you love exploring new places, there's always a part of you that misses home. You miss your family, your friends, even the grumpy barista at your local coffee shop. It's natural. It's called being human. Homesickness can hit you like a ton of bricks, especially when you're feeling isolated or overwhelmed. Suddenly, all you want is a hug from your mum, a pint with your mates, and a good cup of tea, and not the weird herbal infusion they call tea in some countries. The good news is that homesickness is usually temporary. Stay connected with loved ones back home, and don't forget to treat yourself from time to time. All right, let's talk about something tricky. When yes doesn't actually mean yes, here's a sticky situation. So you're in a meeting, maybe in Japan. Everyone's super polite. You pitch an idea. They all smile and nod. Yes, yes, they say. Awesome, they love it. Except they don't. See, in some cultures, saying no directly is a no-go, so they'll agree or seem to agree even when they don't. Confusing? Oh, absolutely. This isn't about lying. It's about cultural quirks. Before you head off to a new place, do some research. Read up on local customs. How do people communicate there? What are the unspoken rules? It's like learning the traffic rules before driving in a new country. Remember, communication is more than just words. Pay attention to body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. When in doubt, just ask for clarification. Better safe than sorry, right? And hey, a little cultural sensitivity goes a long way. How to avoid offending everyone everywhere. We've all been there. Said something totally wrong at the worst possible moment. It's bad enough at home, but in another country? Next level cringe. Suddenly you're not just a tourist, you're the poster child for cultural insensitivity. Take the thumbs up, for example. Here it means awesome, but in some places it's like flipping someone off. Not exactly the vibe you want, especially at work. So how do you avoid being a walking, talking mistake? Easy, be aware, do your homework. Learn the local customs, even the tiny ones. Things like greetings, table manners, and what to wear can be totally different. Remember, what's polite here might be super rude somewhere else. When in doubt, play it safe, ask questions, watch what others do, and don't be afraid to say you don't know. It's better to learn than to mess up. Blending in or trying to. From local delicacies to handshake protocols. Okay, so you don't want to be that tourist. You know, the one rocking socks and sandals, yelling in English and only eating burgers and fries. Blending in is key. It shows respect and helps you fit into your new surroundings. Start with the basic greetings. In some places a handshake is the go-to, in others it's a bow, a hug, or even a nose rub. Yep, really. Learn a bit of the local lingo. Even just a few basic phrases can make a big difference. And then there's the food. Look, I'm a simple person. I like my food like I like my cars reliable and preferably German. But when in Rome or anywhere else, try the local cuisine. You might find a new favorite dish, or at least you'll have a cool story to tell. Remember, blending in isn't about losing who you are. It's about showing respect for the local culture and making an effort to connect with the people around you. Who knows, you might even pick up a few new habits along the way. Knowing when to embrace and when to stick to your guns. Adapting to a new culture is super important, but hey, don't forget to stay true to yourself. You don't have to ditch your values or beliefs just because you're somewhere new. Actually, your unique perspective is a big plus. Imagine you're on a project with a team in a place where hierarchy is a big deal. You're used to a more laid-back, collaborative vibe where everyone's voice matters. Do you just go with the flow and follow the rules? Or do you speak up and maybe ruffle some feathers? It's a tricky one. But remember, respect is a two-way street. You can respect the local culture and still stick to your own principles. Just explain your point of view clearly and respectfully. Show them the perks of a different approach. You might be surprised by how well it goes. Different ways of thinking are valuable, even in places that love their hierarchy. So don't be shy about bringing your whole self to the table. Building bridges, not walls. The rewards of cross-cultural connections. Working remotely abroad isn't just about checking off places on your travel list. It's about diving into new cultures and meeting people from all over. It's about expanding your view and challenging what you thought you knew. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing the unexpected. It's about realizing that despite our differences, we're all connected. We all share the same hopes, dreams, and fears, and that's pretty amazing. So go ahead, adventurous remote worker. Explore the world, take on the challenges, and enjoy the benefits of cross-cultural connections. You might just surprise yourself with what you learn along the way. Section 2, From Remote Worker to Global Citizen, the transformative power of working abroad. Working remotely abroad isn't just about switching up your workspace, it's about seeing things from a whole new angle. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and diving into a culture that's totally different from what you're used to. Sure, you'll hit some bumps along the way, you'll get lost in translation, miss some social cues, and miss your favorite coffee more than you thought possible. But you'll learn to roll with the punches, think on your feet, and see the beauty in our differences. You'll find hidden talents, make friends you never expected, and gain a new appreciation for your own roots. When you come back, you'll be a different person, tougher, more flexible, and with a global outlook that's hard to beat. So yeah, working remotely abroad is about checking off those bucket list spots, but it's also about the journey, the personal growth, and the transformation that happens along the way.